Alright fellas, let's get into it. You know, it's no secret that when it comes to hair loss and balding, there is a lot of stigma out there, there's a lot of stereotypes. And of course, one of the biggest stereotypes out there is that hair loss will affect a man's dating life, it will affect his chances of succeeding with women. And despite the countless examples of bald men out there who have owned the shit out of being bald and still gone on to have great dating lives, the stigma still remains and it still proves to be a case of uncertainty for a lot of balding men out there. So today I want to break down a clip I saw from a program known as First Dates, which involves a young bald guy. And I want to talk about the way that this date went for him. From there, I'm going to give a quick breakdown, and from there I'm going to give you some honest advice on what I feel you can do as a young bald guy if you're in that situation where you're single and maybe you feel like balding is going to be a problem for you, what you can do to ensure that you do see success, and what you can do to be the most self-assured version of yourself as well. So without further ado, let's get into it and let's break this down.
Hiya, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm Juliet.
I'm Othello, nice to meet you.
Good looking dude, pulls off the bald look quite well.
Nice to meet you. Is your name actually Othello?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so crazy.
Othello is a good icebreaker. It's a pretty unique name. I'm very lucky to have it. Ironically, I wasn't happy with it when I was a kid. You know, when you're in school, you want to be called John.
So,
He's got a sense of humour from what it seems.
And then you get to 14 and you start standing out. People remember your name.
what's your name again, sorry? What do you do?
Right, so I'm going to show off right now. I'm an international sales manager. You've been to trade shows before?
Not really.
Well, I basically just sell square meters. So an 18 square meter stand, or 36 square meter stand.
Okay.
I sell the square meter for that person or that business.
So you sell like space?
That's exactly what I sell.
He's a space dealer then. You know, I think he was trying to be ironic with his humour there. He was trying to be a bit sarcastic and I think it did go over the girl's head a little bit. I mean, I do see the humour and what he was trying to go for. He's a space dealer. I mean, you don't really hear that job title every day. I definitely get the vibe he's a bit nervous as well. But let's see how it goes.
What are the boxes that need to be ticked to be in Juliet's arms?
The first thing.
Please don't say an afro. Please don't say an afro.
So what, you just like prefer to like go bald?
It doesn't grow back.
Doesn't
Juliet,
grow
real
back.
talk. Do you like a man with hair or no hair?
Hair.
You know, I think the error in judgment that he made there was when he was asking what would it take to get in your arms, please don't say a guy with an afro. He shouldn't have put it like that because then it highlighted the fact that he did have it in the back of his mind that what if she only likes guys with hair? And she may not have even been thinking about it, but the fact that he planted that seed in her head, now she may be thinking, yeah, maybe I do prefer a guy with hair. Purely because he highlighted it in the first place. Let's continue.
So at what age did you realise you was like losing your hair?
What happened was, 1 week, 23, I went to the barber, and the barber, his name was Abdul, went, oh, my friend, you're getting bored there, yeah, 2-3 years, it's all gone.
Bitch, what?
I was like, Abdul doesn't do my hair anymore.
See, he's got a sense of humour. He's charming. I do feel like this guy's charming. He's good looking. He pulls off the bold look, but I sense some insecurity there in regards to the way he feels about it.
The most annoying thing about getting bald early was I didn't experiment with my hair. I've had one haircut in my life. Real talk, cornrows.
Really?
Swear down. And a Rio Ferdinand, where they dangle down here, and the beads would match the crepes in the butt. So I'm rocking red crepes, I'm rocking red beads. I'm rocking blue crepes, I'm rocking blue beads.
You're so funny.
You know what I mean?
The thing about this so far, I feel like he's making all the effort, he's carrying the conversation, and I can say from experience, whenever I've been on a date where I'm in that situation where I'm doing all the charming, I'm doing all the talking, and I'm carrying the conversation, I usually take the sign that this shit ain't going nowhere, or they're just really freaking boring, and I better count my losses and just get out of here. But he's making an effort, man. He's trying to make it work for what it is. He's there and he's being positive about it. I just feel like the self-deprecating humour was a bit too much. It went on for a bit too long, although some of it was funny, like the way he described how he used to match his cornrows with his trainers. That was funny, there was a humorous side to it and it made a laugh, but at the same time, there is a point where you do have to stop the self-deprecation because then you're just drawing too much attention to it and it does bring up the question, are you just insecure about this?
I'm glad that you owned it.
But yeah, no, I did.
In school, I thought I had all the game. Like, all the game. Things used to go my way and they now don't go my way. Losing my hair definitely affected my confidence when dating.
Okay, so he admits it, that's a good thing. The main thing about dealing with hair loss is accepting the fact that it has shook up your confidence and that's how you go about embracing it and ultimately coming out more confident on the other side. But it seems like even though he is owning it, it's still affected him, unfortunately.
Maybe subconsciously I am overcompensating. Who knows? Who knows?
I do try and go to the gym. As you can tell, I'm quite skinny. Where I'm quite lucky is I don't gain weight,
That used to be me until about 6 months ago.
What, did your metabolism go, I'll see you later? I'm not a fan of skinny girls. It's always good to have, I don't want to say a little meat because that sounds like, yeah, you are fat. You are not. Most men, they don't like that skinny look, you know?
But,
There's no but.
oh,
Look, I think you look good. Let me rephrase that. I think you look amazing.
okay, let me go to the toilet. I'm back in 1 second.
Bruh.
Just calm the fuck down, bro.
All right. Let's talk about it. First thing I noted was that throughout the date, it did feel like the guy was the one carrying the conversation and making all the effort. And it felt like the girl just sort of walked in there, flaunting what she had to offer physically, and because she felt like she looked good, she didn't have to make that same effort back. Unfortunately, that is something that is very common in this day and age. And it isn't helped by the fact that we guys, we tend to place the pretty girl on a pedestal. Even if in terms of characteristics, intelligence, sense of humor, even if they've got jack shit to offer in that sense, a lot of men will still be head over heels. The way it seems with this guy, he's good looking in my opinion, and he's got a great sense of humor. He does carry a conversation well. I feel like the main problem for him is that he's just way too insecure about being bold. I feel like he's almost got a seed planted in his head where he does feel like he's at a disadvantage because of it, even though it really suits him. And I guess it didn't help in this situation that the girl, with the way she spoke about his hair loss and balding, it did shake him up a bit. But the thing that irritates me about it is that it's okay for her to question him over his hair loss, but the second he brings up her weight, a topic that she brought up, is suddenly the worst thing in the world, and like the title of the video suggests, he's apparently dug himself a hole. Bruh. Could you be any more double standard than that? The worst part is that he wasn't even rude. He wasn't making fun of her. He took an interest in the topic that she chose to bring up, and he asked a simple question about it, yet she hopped up and chose to get offended. Even though he had the patience to deal with her questions when it came to his hair loss, a topic that, like I said, he is insecure about. Guys, let me just say that you are going to get girls who are like this out there. And you know what? If you're a guy who is going through hair loss and you're worried about your chances with women being affected because of it, I'm going to be real with you. Will they be affected when it comes to this caliber of a woman? Yeah. Probably. But do you really want to be with a woman who is boring, has no personality, and outside of her physical attributes, has nothing to offer? Or do you actually want to be with a high value woman who is willing to offer you the same emotionally and intellectually that you're willing to offer her? You know what, guys? It's time that we start recognizing our own self-worth and our own value, and recognizing that we are the freaking prize, just as much as women are the prize in their own way. And don't be fooled by the BS that goes on nowadays about toxic masculinity. Just remember that you recognizing your own self-worth doesn't make you an arrogant or a toxic male. A man should be valued, and just because you're going to get some women out there who can't see past the superficial shit like you not having a head full of hair, it doesn't mean you aren't worthy or capable of having a good woman at your side. But the least you can do for yourself and for your own dignity is to stop chasing after women like this. The type of woman who will benefit herself of a double standard like in this situation. Bottom line, stop chasing after women who do not bring out the best in you as a man. And for God's sake, please stop putting every woman who gives you attention on a pedestal. I know you might be afraid that because of your hair loss, you feel like you have to cling on to that girl who's giving you attention because you're afraid that chance won't come again. But not only are you devaluing yourself by doing that, you're going to make those insecurities stronger. Going after the wrong women is only going to worsen them, and you know what? You need someone at your side who is going to empower you. You know, rejection is a normal thing for everyone, regardless of how you look. And you know what? You don't need to blame it on your hair loss. And you don't need to blame it on yourself. Accept that it's part of the process and just learn to laugh with it. Enjoy it. The more you can learn to laugh and shrug off these kind of encounters, the less time you spend dwelling on these kind of interactions, the closer you're going to get to meeting that ideal woman who does recognize what you have to offer. And on top of that, because you won't be as insecure or dependent on a woman's approval anymore, you're going to be that much more attractive. And that will only draw in higher value women. Anyway, guys, that does sum up today's video. I just thought it'd be really interesting to touch on this topic. There are many guys out there, especially the younger ones, who do feel like hair loss is going to be the issue in regards to their social and dating life, so hopefully this bit of food for thought can help you. And guys, what do you think? Would you like to see more reaction videos like this one? If you would, be sure to let me know. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. That will really help boost the channel. Hit the bell icon to be notified of all the latest content, all that good jazz. My name is Ricky Benang, and as always, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. I'll see you soon.